Please rise, if able, for the playing of the national anthem.
Good morning. We are the members of the MHS classes of 2030
and 2034.
We were just promoted to Middle Division
and Senior Division.
Yay!
But today, we're here to celebrate the class of 2026
and their amazing accomplishments.
We are also celebrating something bigger, something lasting.
A legacy.
In August, we began a year-long celebration of 100 years of our pledge.
For more than a century, the 65 words of Milton Hershey School's pledge have shaped who we are.
The pledge reminds us to look in the mirror to grow,
see out the window to serve others,
and walk through the door of opportunity where legends are made.
Just like the class of 2026 will walk across the stage today.
And if you asked our community,
what does the pledge mean to you?
You might get a lot of different answers.
Strength.
Respect.
Honesty.
Purpose.
So that is exactly what President Gert did.
He asked each of us to reflect on what our pledge means.
We set out to capture 1,000 voices through the 100 Years, 1,000 Voices Challenge.
Can I tell you a secret?
We did it.
In fact, we met our goal of 1,000 voices so quickly
that President Gert raised the goal to 2026 to honor the class of 2026.
Today we are celebrating our more than 200 seniors
and revealing something big.
We're sharing exactly how many voices we captured.
It's a really big number.
Throughout the program, you'll see this.
This graphic will help us keep count of our pledge voices throughout the show.
It will add up to our final total.
Keep watching to see how high it goes.
Oh my goodness, look at the time.
There's only one thing that President Gert likes more than delivering on a clearly defined purpose.
It's being on time.
So, we better get our 90-second commencement ceremony started.
But first, let's go back to where our year began.
With President Gert at the opening of school assembly,
who will welcome the class of 2026 to our celebration.
Look in the mirror to grow, see out the window to serve, and walk through the door to the kind of life where legends are made.
Please rise to welcome the class of 2026.
Look at this face. This kid had no idea what was coming.
Scared, nervous, hopeful.
Carrying dreams that felt too big to say out loud.
If I could go back and talk to this version of me,
I would say, hold on.
because you are about to get your shot.
You are about to walk into a place that will change everything.
Not because it's easy, but because it will ask something of you.
It will ask you to look at yourself honestly.
And make a commitment.
To be physically strong.
Mentally awake.
And morally straight.
To keep your standards high.
And help others to do the same.
To live by the golden rule.
To speak the truth, always.
To give yourself something greater.
Your school, your country, your God.
I didn't fully understand those words when I first said them.
But I do now.
Because I live them.
Here I discovered who I am. Not just what I'm good at.
But who I am when things are hard.
Who I am when no one is watching.
I found my people.
My best friends, my support system, my family.
I found my passion.
I found my beat.
My rhythm.
My voice.
And I began to see, for the first time, what I was capable of.
Then I looked up.
And I looked out.
And I realized this was never just about me.
Being a Spartan means something.
It means showing up for others.
Welcoming the new student who is just as scared as I once was.
Offering a hand when somebody is struggling.
Staying late to help with homework.
Mentoring a younger student.
Giving extra. Not because you have to, but because you can.
I learned that service isn't a requirement.
It's a privilege.
I learned that when you pour into others, something pours back into you.
On the field, on the court, in the classroom, in the community.
I learned what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
To trust your teammates.
To carry each other.
To make history together.
Looking through that window.
I found belief.
Not just in myself.
But in us.
And now we stand here.
At the door.
This is the moment.
Everything we've worked for.
Every early morning.
Every hard conversation.
Every time we got back up.
It all led here. MHS gave us the skills.
The drive. The discipline. And most importantly, the courage to walk through.
On the other side of this door.
There are college campuses waiting for us.
Culinary schools, engineering programs, medical schools.
There are communities that need us.
There are patients that will be cared for by our hands.
Structures built by our minds.
Classrooms shaped by our voices.
There are people who will be led by us.
Inspired by us.
Changed by us.
Because we know what it means to be reliable.
Dependable. Accountable.
We know what it means to lead with integrity.
To treat every person with respect.
To be generous, to be kind, to be honest.
To show up fully for the people who need us.
Milton and Captain Hershey believed in kids like us.
Before we believed in ourselves.
They built this place as a promise.
And we are the fulfillment of that promise.
So we will take everything the school gave us.
And we will give it back to the world.
We will carry our pledge forward.
We will add to Spartan fame.
We will become who our founders knew we could be.
This is our moment. This is our door.
And we are walking through it.
Into the kind of life where legends are made.
Will you please bow your heads with me for this prayer? Awesome God, as we gather for this momentous occasion, we want to take a moment to express our gratitude to you for the innumerable blessings we have received. Thank you for families who hoped for a better future for their children. Thank you for TL staff and house parents who live with them daily to love and guide them. Thank you for teachers who didn't just teach, but believed in, motivated, and refused to give up on their students. Thank you for the many other MHS staff members who worked tirelessly, often behind the scenes, to ensure that our students can have the best experience possible. Thank you for allowing us to gather and celebrate as a community. Thank you especially for the class of 2026. May this ceremony be a tremendous blessing and encouragement to them, as well as an inspiration to everyone else in attendance. Amen. This scripture reading is taken from the New Testament book of Colossians, chapter 1, verses 9 through 14. For this reason, since the day we first heard about you, we have not stopped praying for you. We continually ask God to fill you with the knowledge of his will through all the wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives, so that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God, being strengthened with all power according to his glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience, and giving joyful thanks to the Father, who has qualified you to share in the inheritance of his holy people in the kingdom of light. For he has rescued us from the dominion of darkness and brought us into the kingdom of the Son he loves, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. Here ends our scripture reading. You may be seated.
Hey, I'm Layla Wright, and I'm a member of Milton Hershey School's class of 2026. Coming from a really small area, people would look at me and my family, say that we were nothing. But our pledge doesn't let us believe that. It tells us to keep our standards high and help others to do likewise. It resonates with me because it's not just about me. It's about other people, like my family. For instance, my younger siblings. If I can show them that me, coming from nothing, can make something out of myself, then I can help pull them up on my way.
Distinguished guests, members of the Milton Hershey School family, relatives, and friends. At 4 years old, I didn't know the words of our pledge, but I knew what they meant. Every night, I waited for my mom to come home after 12 hours working on her feet. Instead of collapsing, she'd turn up Sia's cheap thrills and break into songs singing, "Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight." She grabbed my hand to revive the child inside of me, a little girl already exhausted from witnessing and experiencing things no child should at such a young age. My childhood was a blur of more houses and strangers than Sesame Street could ever teach me to count. We moved from house to house just to keep a roof over our heads. Yet, my mind doesn't gravitate towards the violence that broke my mother's nose or the piercing sound of her screams mixed with my brother's cries. She was willing to suffer 10 times more just so that we could have the semblance of a normal childhood. Instead, I remember her on her knees and me running my fingers through her red-brown hair, along with stitches on her face, imagining they were like plucking each string of my grandpa's guitar. Tracing her face was the first time I realized she wasn't just a DJ playing a track so that we could dance. She was carrying the world on her shoulders. Through those small moments, a piece of my childhood innocence stayed behind. In our tiny apartment, we danced, barefoot on the cracked linoleum, laughing like we had it all. The hum of the refrigerator and the slap of our feet were our orchestra. An unforgiving lesson that strength is finding joy even when the world has nothing left to give. But if my mother was the song, my father was the silence between the notes. He fought addiction, heartbreak, and poverty. But he still believed in music and in me. Sometimes, I think Eminem's Mockingbird, one of his favorite songs, was written for him when he says, "Stiffen up that upper lip, little lady. I told you, Daddy's here to hold you through the night." He wasn't, not physically, but his unspoken promises lived between the lyrics he loved. His way of using someone else's words to promise the stability he couldn't give. Translating his raw, unfinished chords taught me to build a fortress around my heart, suppress my fear, and rely completely on myself. I brought that same armor with me when I first arrived at MHS. Before, at public school, I was known as the poor, chubby, dirty girl without a dad. In my loneliness, I thought I could do something worthwhile, mean something, if I just kept my head down and did my schoolwork. I thrived on academic validation because if I wasn't the smartest, I was nothing. My father passed away during my first year here at MHS. I just 16 and he 41. I began to be crushed in the fortress I built, leaving only the deafening ring of silence in my ears. But our pledge and the people it built wouldn't let me stay in that silence. It whispered, keep yourself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. And so, I did. Music became my survival. My teachers saw a spark I couldn't see. My friends stood beside me. I broke down in the arms of my house dad, who, by some quiet, bittersweet irony, shared my father's exact last name. He held me with the steadiness the blurred faces of my childhood could never give. Where most men in my life brought chaos, my house dad, Andrew Wright, became the steady beat that I only thought existed in music. In Student Home Wyandotte, the missing notes of my family's melody were finally filled in. Our pledge wasn't just words. It was a community refusing to let each other fall. Driven by that pulse, I threw myself into any type of music I could get my hands on. Marching band, indoor percussion, pit orchestra, and more. Needing the sweat, rhythm, and faith of performance. It taught me that art isn't about perfection. It's about connection. And let me finally realize that there was more to me than just my brain. That even though at home, society viewed me as a burden, at MHS, I could simply be. And that was enough. I didn't have to prove I had a reason for existing through academic work. At MHS, I felt each piece of armor cracking with each note that resonated through the instruments I played. I made friends, mentored younger students, and finally gave up on perfection, as music had taught me that wrong notes could still lead to harmony. The echo of every performance's final note felt like the voices of all those who pushed me, urging me, keep going. And when I stood in Panama, translating for people whose stories mirrored my own, I finally understood the last line of our pledge: to do all I can for the good of my school, my country, and my God. Because courage isn't about forgetting pain. It's about transforming it into purpose. Sometimes I think our pledge was written for kids like me, the ones who grew up between love and loss, learning honor isn't recognition, it's resilience. My father gave me the melody. My mother taught me to dance to it. And MHS, the students, the teachers, the house parents, the staff, gave me the harmony to carry me forward. I stand here not as someone who has had an easy life, but as someone who found her purpose in pain, her strength in sound, and her courage in the choir who refused to let her walk alone. Because our pledge isn't just something we recite, it's something we live. Sometimes it's the only thing that teaches us how to keep singing when the music stops, a constant hum of hope that refuses to die. My time here has come to an end, but you, Spartans, still have the power to take the pain that was thrust upon you and transform it into something breathtaking. I could have stayed complacent, allowed myself to accept that I would never be anything more than I was born into: homelessness, drugs, abuse, and isolation. But MHS, its community, and our pledge taught me the most important words I know that I leave you all with today. Survival is not the end of the story, but the beginning of who we choose to become. Thank you.
When I was 10 years old, my mother passed away. She was in a car accident. My father still struggled with English. We were very poor and we couldn't afford a lot of things. And my father had heard about the Milton Hershey School. I attribute having a school to basically save our lives. So I don't know what we would have done at the time.
We were immigrants. We came here in 75. You know, there was my parents and all the kids. And so we even supported each other after the passing of my mom. But when we went into the school, our biggest fear was not really seeing each other, you know? The school did a good job in trying to create opportunities for us to be together, you know what I mean? To kind of get together. The house parents were kind of like trying to make opportunities for that.
I first met Maria literally in Catherine Hall in 5-1 in Miss Schilling's class. She was so cute, you know, so fun, and immediately just fit right in, fell right in with the group in 5-1.
Everyone liked her. Everyone liked Maria. She always had a smile. She would work with them. She didn't matter who I put her in a group with. I knew it was fine.
So after I left Milton Hershey, I went to Penn State. I would say I had a successful college life, and part of it was with the Milton Hershey School Foundation. College is stressful, where you had kids that didn't have good study habits, didn't have good habits at all. And I think Milton Hershey really taught me those foundational habits that I carried into college.
Maria has always focused on her vision, not on her circumstances. And I think that is an example for every one of our students, the 2,200 students that we have on campus now, is that you can rise above whatever got you to Milton Hershey School through no fault of your own and turn your life into success.
They had an open position for the Milton Hershey School Board of Managers. I was honored to even be approached, and I really love doing board service because what it does is it gives back to the school.
She really has touched every one of our businesses as well as our employees and understands how to really lead with a sense of purpose, holding people accountable, but yet doing it in a manner that's fun and engaging and really keeps us all on our toes, but working collaboratively.
Her leadership and her partnership in running the Hershey Company has been tremendous. Her focus on delivering the highest level of results, doing it the right way, is where the focus is.
Every time I come back to campus, I constantly reflect on what the school has done for me. There is an emotional impact that will be forever with me. You can't help but think about where would you be if it wasn't for the school.
Yeah, I think the growth was almost transcendent. At Milton Hershey, you could see her confidence being built, and I think we as all siblings, we kind of set high expectations for one another. Those expectations was something that maybe you didn't really enjoy when you were younger, but actually they really helped us out.
President Good has been a huge supporter of making sure that all the Hershey entities collaborate, and he is passionate about giving opportunities to our students.
The Alumni of the Year Award basically has 3 criteria. You're distinguished in your career, you have a commitment to service to others, and that you have a high degree of character. For me, it's both acknowledging extraordinary accomplishment with a deep sense of humility and the understanding that none of us would be in the positions we are without the extraordinary vision of Milton and Catherine Hershey. And Maria has modeled, not only as her time as a student, but even before she came back to serve on the board.
It means a lot to me. My older sister, Mary, received the first female Alumna of the Year award. Now I'm receiving the Alumna of the Year. I'm the first female chair of the Board of Managers of the Milton Hershey School. Alumna of the Year to me means that this is an individual that has been very impactful on others. It's the highest honor that a graduate of the Milton Hershey School can get. One of the lessons that the school taught me and all of the role models is you really have to work hard. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. I think it's about being the hardest working person in the room. I'm currently working as the CFO for a animal health company, Wedgwood Pharmacy. Our mission is to help animals and those who love and care for them. And I think that's what's really carried me on in my career is I want to work for companies that are very mission oriented, exactly like Milton Hershey.
Coming up on 30 years of marriage now, and I'm still amazed at the way she manages her time. It's just, she seems to be one of the busiest people I know, but still never fails to take something on. And somehow she gets it done. She's an extremely productive person.
Obviously, she's smart. Obviously, she's skilled, right? Obviously, she has attention to detail and everything else. But when she engages with senior management, senior leadership, she treats them all with respect, all like they're a friend. She treats them all with value.
She speaks with our students the same way she speaks in a boardroom, the same way she speaks with executives. She is so true to herself, and that comes across in every interaction that she has.
No matter what environment she's in, she's her own person, which I think is an incredible talent.
One of the things, too, that the school taught me was just set high standards. You know, we talk about you can't achieve something if you don't try it, but you also have to set high standards for yourself. If the standards aren't high enough, you're always going to be shooting low.
I found Maria to be smart, analytical, transparent, caring, and most notably had this infectious laugh.
It's been almost a decade that I've been on the Board of Managers, and we've typically given the award, and to now receive that honor, it's so meaningful to actually be able to celebrate it with my current Board of Managers, with my family, with the administration, and all the leaders at the Hershey entities that has helped me, and that means so much to me to do it while I'm here. You want to leave the organization better than when you first came to it. I'm hoping that my board service has set and institutionalized the foundation to help serve more children for years to come.
I am extremely proud of Maria. You know, this honors and recognizes her accomplishments, but it really also symbolizes her legacy. And what is that legacy? That legacy is to help others, to make sure that people have opportunities and make sure, like, that's what she's doing on her board, you know, creating opportunities for the students.
She has such strong ties to her own family, but also her Milton Hershey School family, and she really treats all of us like family too, which I've always really appreciated.
My mom has kind of showed up for me as just an inspiration. I think, you know, not limiting yourself to just do a few things. It's like you really can do anything you want. You can work these jobs, you can work that, you can take on multiple different roles. And for me, that's definitely been inspiring because, you know, as a kid, I can see, okay, if my mom can do all this stuff and she went to this school and she can accomplish so much, why can't I?
When I went to her wedding, I sat at her family table. You know, that I was amazed. that she would think of me that much. Because you don't know the impact you're going to have on students, no matter where you teach. But you hope that that's a Maria Schilling moment.
The legacy I would love to leave is that I am the first female graduate that is the chair of the Board of Managers of the Milton Hershey School and the Board of Directors of the Hershey Trust Company and chair of the Hershey Company. And I will not be the last.
Congratulations, Mom, on the Alumni of the Year award. I'm so proud of you.
Congratulations, Mom. You are enormously deserving of this award, and we couldn't be more proud of you.
Congratulations, Maria.
Hi, I'm Maria Trent Krause, class of 1989. I am proud to be the chair of the Board of Managers of the Milton Hershey School. When I reflect on the MHS School Pledge, I think about how significant each line is. I can't even pull out exactly which line means more to me than the others because every line has meaning. I feel that the pledge is how we should be living our lives. It's not just something that we pledge when we're at the Milton Hershey School, it's something that lives beyond the school, and it's how us as alumni, as students, as administration, as teachers, as house parents, as support staff, that every person should be thinking about the pledge and that how it affects our lives and those of the students we're here to serve. I was 10 years old when I arrived at Milton Hershey School. My mother had died. My future felt uncertain. I walked through these doors carrying far more questions than answers. What I could not see at the time was that my life had just changed. Not all at once, but in the thousands of moments that would follow. Today, class of 2026, I want to tell you something about yourselves that you may not fully appreciate yet. You are heirs. Milton and Catherine Hershey never knew your names. They never saw you on your first day of campus, sat in your student homes, attended your performances, or cheered from the sidelines at your games. Yet they made a decision that shaped every one of your lives. They took the success that they had built and turned it into an opportunity for people they would never meet. Think about how extraordinary that is. The inheritance they left behind was never money. Kind of money is nice though. It was possibility. It was the belief that a child's future should be determined by their character, their effort, and their potential, not by circumstances. That inheritance belongs to you now. For years, you have recited the MHS pledge. You have talked about being physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You have been challenged to hold yourselves to a higher standard, to care for one another, and to lead lives of purpose. Those ideas were never meant to stay on this campus. They were meant to travel with you. That is why this inheritance is unlike any other. This morning, there were 219 graduates seated before us. And I just have to say, when President Good asked me to speak today as Alumna of the Year, my first response was, I'm just an accountant. So I'm going to share the impact of our founders the best way I know how, with numbers. Mom May, I know you'll tell me when I'm wrong. Let's assume that over the course of your lives, each member of the class of 2026 profoundly impacts just 100 people. Just like Mr. and Mrs. Hershey attended when they started MHS over a century ago. A child, a spouse, a friend, a co-worker, a neighbor, someone who is better because you were in their life. That would mean this graduating class alone would touch nearly 22,000 lives. I know I said 219, I'm rounding. Now, imagine each of those people go on to impact 100 more. The number becomes
2.2 million one generation later, and then 220 million, all because someone chose to invest in a child. That is why this inheritance is unlike any other. Most inheritances get smaller over time. This one grows. It grows when you choose integrity over convenience, when you do the right thing without being asked, when you become the person someone else can depend on, when you use your talents in service of something bigger than yourself. Every one of those choices adds to what Milton and Catherine Hershey started. I know because I have spent my own life trying to do the same. And standing here today, I can tell you this: the greatest way to honor our founders is to not admire what they built, but to build upon it, to leave the world better than you found it, to create opportunities for others to become living proof that their investment was worthwhile. I hope they were right to believe in me, just like we know we are all right to believe in you. Congratulations, class of 2026.
A Live the Pledge Day in Hershey, PA. Hey Spartans, Peter Gert here, class of 1985 and president of Milton Hershey School. What a year we have had celebrating our school pledge, 100 years old. I'm joining you right now from High Point Mansion, where Milton and Catherine Hershey lived after they moved out of the homestead, which is located on our campus. Mr. and Mrs. Hershey's values are what is reflected in this school pledge that we live out each day on our campus. What does this pledge mean? To me, it is a daily inspiration to continue to work on our physical strength, our mental awareness, all of those things of treating people with respect through the golden rule, and then having a heart of service. These are all things that we're challenged to do through the pledge with one another on our campus and long after we graduate from Milton Hershey School. '26, do you want to do it one more time with me? In Hershey, PA. Yes, it is. It's also graduation day, so why don't we try that? In Hershey, PA. And now it's a graduation day, so I want to hear you say it. It's a graduation day in Hershey, PA. It's a graduation day. Yes. Congratulations to all of you. You look amazing. And a few words before you receive your diploma to remind you again of this year. One pledge, 4 lines, 65 words, 100 years of excellence, and now an additional 219 lives changed forever. At the beginning of this school year, I challenged you to look in the mirror, look out the window, and to prepare yourself to be ready to walk out the door. Seniors, I wore this jacket, this mirror jacket, one more time, and I want you to see on the back, and then I'm going to have a conversation with you. You remember that mirror? Do you like what you see as you leave? Do you love what you see in that mirror? Yes. Now I want you to stand up, class of 2026, and look out the window. Get up and turn around and see the community of people who have supported you. Seniors, the people in this auditorium have become your difference makers. And it's important for you to remember who brought you here, who kept you here, and have supported you throughout your time. You may be seated. And in just a few minutes, 2026, you will receive your diplomas and you will walk through the doors to live a legendary life. Your names will be added to the more than 12,000 graduates who have gone before you, who have also committed to the standards outlined in our school pledge. 1,077 of these graduates actually received their diplomas directly from Mr. Hershey himself. 11 of them are still living. As all of you know, a movie about Milton and Catherine Hershey will be coming out later this year. When I had the opportunity to visit the set, I asked 2 of those graduates to join me. It was moving to listen to our oldest living alums tell their stories to the actors portraying our founders. God bless each and every one of you. We love each and every one of you. We are rooting for you, and we remain here for all of you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tara Velasky, the Assistant Vice President of Education and Student Life at the Milton Hershey School. This school year, I've really enjoyed learning what the school pledge means to our community and how our students live our pledge every day. The line of the school pledge that most resonates with me is, "I will keep my standards high and help others to do likewise." I live this daily by aligning our work to the Milton Hershey way and creating clear expectations, modeling consistency, and ensuring every student and staff member is supported and accountable to meet those standards.
We are now ready to begin the presentation of diplomas. The Milton Hershey School Diploma complements the MHS class ring, which was presented to our seniors last Sunday, recognizing their academic and character achievements. To celebrate the significance of this moment, each senior has recorded their own name, which will be played as they come forward to receive their diploma from MHS President Peter G. Gert, class of 1985, and myself. It is now my pleasure to present the MHS graduating class of 2026.
Elijah Michael Owasukampo Oladisayo.
Michael Lee Alder Jr.
Ezekiel Omar Alexander.
Caitlin Ngozi Anya.
Mame Afia Inshira Asante.
Sabella Victoria Athey.
Adeboyega Olashubomi Owofiore.
Joel Deshaun Bailey.
Mercy Kruba Barton.
Kyron DeRay Bentley.
Xavier Percy Blemo. Eleazar Nana Ajay Boache.
Khadija Nucci Bowley.
Frederick King Bond III.
Brianne Teresa Brackett. Sophia Grace Bradley. Maylin Gracie Brink. Destiny Shalonda Brown.
Jermaine Villegas Brown Jr.
Kanaya Denise Brown. Kyler Alexandra Bryan. Delaney Grace Badzina. Aaliyah Ida Bullocks. Casey Ann Burkhart.
Makai Amar Cable.
Samuel C. Chan.
Samantha Jasmine Charpentier.
Kevin Matthew Chelly.
Justin Nicholas Chetty.
Alana Renee Christian.
Brendan Robert Clausen.
Hallie Ray Klein.
Owen Philip Kluke.
Christina Karis Cole.
Clairlise Collado.
Jason Omar Collado Jr.
Chastity Ray Cornett. Destiny Naveen Cortez.
Alexander Lee Cruz-Wright.
Treasure Rain Cuellar. Grace Abigail Cunningham.
Annika Anne-Marie Davey.
Christopher Nasir Davis.
Andre Del Rosso.
Zalasia Rena Mae Dempster. Naira Neve Sandra Desir.
Ferdinand Kwaku Donkor.
Michelle Mimi Doswa. Princess Angel Early.
Markins Ishmael Emil.
Anointed Yah Ajofoma Ashen. Michaela Ann Esslinger.
Ebu Olua. Olua Maiwa Fekiesi.
Joshua James Felix. Gavin Lee Fenstermaker.
Eddie Ferrer Jr. Anthony Javier Figueroa.
Daydream Willia Fleming.
Bianca Jaslyn Flannery.
Andrew Charles Flores.
Jeremiah Patrice Fountain. Ivan Fifi Amisa Frankoff.
Lydia Joy Frimpong. Molina Ruth Ann Philly.
Devin James Funk.
Madeline Maria Gabriel. Casey Marie Gehring.
Kaden Eugene Gann Luckett.
Yasmin Angela Karen Garduno.
Jalik Ijakilmo Gadogo.
Abigail Pat Abiadun Bodie.
Justin Anthony Geyer.
Ava Oriana Hanau Benetti.
Kingston Kamal George.
Anjanae Jordan Germany Rice.
Timothy Yevgenyevich Genovich.
Rowan Kensley Gilliland.
Alexandra Simone Gonzalez. Sophia Marie Gonzalez. Elizabeth Alicia Gordon.
Tariana Mia Harrington.
Jada Camille Henry.
Alex Joel Herman.
Maya Lee Hirsch. Lucille Jeanette Hireman.
Andrew Lewis Hicks.
Cameron Eugene Hillmeyer.
Ivan Erickson Hogbin. Elijah Audrey Hopkins.
Doria Marie Hoppy.
Danea Wilhelmina Howard.
Tiara K. Howie.
Joseph Lewis Jackson Jr.
Kiani Zariah Jackson. Sunnylyn Layla Jameson.
Tristan Aiden Jari. Rajon Leonard Jefferson Arline.
Saliu Idris Kamara.
Joelle Shiloh Elsa Kasu.
Christian Noble Keith.
Bethuel Kimasop Kimoy.
Kamaya Gervais King.
Jonathan Muthiani Kyoko.
Camden Armando Klingbill.
John Me Ernestine Noden.
Derek Godwin Kofi. Nathan Ryan Kostelnik.
Sandy Lamb.
Jacqueline Edwina Lamptey.
Corey Lee Lease Jr.
Amir Laurent Jason Lee. Maya Alyssa Lewis.
Rihanna May Liberty.
Othniel Samuel Lincoln Lightfoot Taylor.
Sagzi Lu.
Ethan Michael Long.
Daimir Ali Lucas Cobb.
Sotera Rael Lynn. Tyler Ryan Lynn. Angel Diamond Miracle Mackey.
Deanjanae Macon. Crystal Chloe Magonia.
Amaya Anuli Man Pereira.
Gregory Justice Martinez.
Matthew Raul Martinez.
Urelis Maria Martinez. Antoinette Family Mason.
Jade Victoria Matthews.
Jorge Giacomo Memo Verbiglio. Victoria Rose McCleary Swigert.
China Julissa McCrory.
Niles Emmanuel McCrory.
Tremaine Armani McGee Jr. Bryce Kenneth McLaughlin.
Shatik Inshallah Medina.
Natalia Isabel Mejia.
Samuel Onman Mendez Nuin.
Jalila Beatriz Mercado.
Noah Gabriel Myers.
Emma Rain Miller.
Mackenzie Nevea Moody.
Jaden Christopher Moore.
Tony Calvin Morris.
William Shaw Murphy.
Harley Springer Levi Myers.
Jade Denise Newman.
Anaya Giselle Newman Belgrave.
Dimitri Malik Nicholson.
Tegan Deirdre O'Malley.
Ernest Kwesi Obang.
Caroline Obuje.
Aiden Menta Oduro.
Gavin Tyler Orman.
Hawa Darlene Palmer. Nyla Ariana Pierce.
Quamir Makai Pendleton.
Jordan Elise Perkins. Alexis Kira Thuit Fawn. Brielle Deborah Lynette Pimble. Zaira Salam Pastel. Gracious Barbara Praise Gold.
Jeremiah Martez Pritchett.
Ian Robert Purser.
Johanna Unity Nuda Pine. Naija Sheree Quick. Jaden Marie Rager. Abigail Rose Ragsdale.
Ethan Patrick Rambert.
Armani John Ramos.
Marley Ann Marie Ritchie.
Ethan Jared Roberto.
Jalen Marie Rogers. Celine Rodriguez Nunez.
Joshua Renato Rondon.
Joshua Eric Ryan. Fatima Aisha Sacco. Ashlyn Marie Schonauer. Sichajua Sanyu Sanketa. Brianni Severino.
Gannon Laakea Sharado.
Darian Ezekiel Smith.
Imani Renee Smith Rego.
Dakota Lee Snyder.
Jaden Kwame Sopo. Corey Ray Strayhorn.
Alexander Dwayne Sutton.
Andre Dominic Takamud.
Mutaru Mac Tambedu.
Ashley Morgan Taylor.
Peyton Randall Taylor.
Adi Rudin Amzati John.
Sivan Soful Toe.
Adriel Moragua Thompson.
Hans Ludovic Thompson. Tristan Deshaun Michael Tibbs.
Leah Rachel Titus.
Princess Jonna Jebet Tommy.
Christina Alexandra Torres Meneses.
Bethany Madison Trackney.
Tristan David Terracini.
Khalif Sakarno Turner Jr.
Milady Valentine Garcia.
Evan Chinonso Valentine.
Gianni Nichelle Vargas.
Jeremiah Nathan Victor.
Anjay Marie Wallace.
Donnell Corday Walters Jr.
Augustin Marvin Wagger.
Anwar Boyd White.
Josiah Maurice Whitted.
Deja Brianna Wilson. Soraya Liazale Wise. Haley Danae Wright. Journey Mariah Wright.
Layla Sue Wright.
Mayana Blessings Ray Yeshua. Antoinette Faith Zegbin.
Hannah Marie Zeziger.
Isaiah Yahweh Snableti Zoga.
Hi, I'm Princess Tommy, a member of the Milton Hershey School class of 2026. The part of the pledge that is the most meaningful for me is in my relations with others, I will live by the golden rule. Growing up, I was always taught that respect and kindness is what mattered the most, so I'm always mindful to treat other people the way I want to be treated. It is important to remember that everybody is going through their own things in life, so choosing empathy matters.
Distinguished guests, members of the Milton Hershey School family, relatives, and friends, thank you for coming to the commencement of the 2026 class. As I stand here on this stage, my mind surges with emotions. I'm deeply thankful for the honor of speaking on behalf of my class one final time, though I find it nearly impossible to capture 11 years of growth, memories, and transformation in just a few short minutes. Still, I pledge to keep myself, and hopefully all of you, mentally awake just a little while longer. My life has always felt like a ticking clock, steady and constant. Before I ever stepped onto campus, my small household of three, my mother, my sister, and I, were struggling to stay afloat. I remember worrying quietly about things I was too young to fully understand, but old enough to feel. Okay. When my sister moved out, launching her life after college, it was just my mother and me. The clock never stopped. It simply kept moving, teaching me how to move with it. Like so many of the family of my peers, my mother worked tirelessly to provide for me. She kept her standards high. She made sure I felt rich in love, stability, and opportunity. At the end of one of my mother's perfectly sculpted days, I was lying in the bed we shared. She was asleep beside me, snoring at a steady rhythm, while I stayed up late, as usual, watching Jessie on the Disney Channel, afraid of the dark and comforted only by the glow of the TV. When the bedroom door slowly opened, I didn't think much of it. The mysterious sounds of Yaden, Pennsylvania had never shaken the confidence of a 6-year-old who thought this was just another ordinary night. But it wasn't just an ordinary night. A man I had never seen before stood in our doorway, pointing a gun at my head. The laughter from Jessie, the lives I wished were mine, faded into nothing but static. Before I could even process what was happening, the pieces of my perfect world were quite literally being taken from us. The robbery was quick, and the only thing left was our lives. Tick. The months that followed were filled with turmoil, until one day my mother asked me a question. Would you want to go to MHS? Between the sweetness of the word chocolate and the quiet desire to follow in my older sister's footsteps, watching how the school provided her with a college education and extracurriculars like sports, I said yes. Not knowing how much one decision would change my life. At MHS, I constantly challenged myself to stay focused. Coming to MHS as a kid, still attached to my mother's hip, a separation that quickly caused me to become what society would call a problem child. A consistent list of chores and consequences became my norm. In middle school, my mother started to travel several times a year, in and out of the country, making me crave stability. I was barely hanging on. My house parents helped me calm that storm. Instead of trying to punish me when I lashed out or argued, they allowed me to talk through my frustration, teaching me that patience and time are better than unchecked judgment. This helped me keep my character morally straight. Nevertheless, all the work I had done was eventually put to the test. In high school, my mother began to develop serious health issues. With each new diagnosis, my pledge to high standards started to slip. By my junior year, her health took a devastating turn. She suffered 3 strokes, losing both her mobility and ability to speak. Tick. I was reminded that the clock was always going to follow me. I threw myself into school and extracurriculars, using my achievements as motivation and as a mask. I convinced myself that if I worked harder, she would get better. And for a moment, it felt like it worked. By the summer of my senior year, she had regained her ability to walk and speak. It felt like the clock had finally found its steady pace again. But some clocks aren't meant to tick forever. At the start of my senior year, following a phone call from my brother, the clock had started its strange tick again. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer. The doctors had told me and my siblings that she had 2 to 3 months to live. Tick. My senior year, the year that was supposed to be the start of new beginnings, instead was the conclusion of hers. Just after getting that call from my brother, the clock ran out on August 31st, and my mother took her last breath. I didn't get 2 to 3 months. I got just 2 weeks, and my whole world turned upside down again. Tick. Even saying it now feels like I'm dreaming. I thought the clock in my life was counting down, ticking toward loss, toward endings, toward tragedy. Today, however, I know the clock doesn't always signal the end of your story. Sometimes it signals the beginning of who you are becoming. For me, it's being part of the class of 2030 at Temple University studying film and television. Because of MHS, I'll be taking my high standards, all the opportunities, my work ethic, and lessons with me. And because of that, I'm certain of my future. When my world fell apart, I did not crash. My teachers, my house parents, the adults who saw me on my hardest days still saw potential. People like Mr. Kravitz, who was my first call after my loss, and Mrs. McElwain, who guided me through my transition back onto campus. Milton Hershey School did more than educate me. It steadied the ticking clock. It reminded me that even when time feels cruel, it is also shaping you. It turned my story from something fragile into something forged. My mother's time and my story may have ended, but mine did not, and neither has yours. I stand before you as one member of the senior class, a class that represents perseverance. We must choose to rise in all the moments that try to break us. We cannot let them define us. Let your life become proof that pain is not the end of the story. Today is not the end of an era. It is the coming of a renaissance. The clock is still ticking, not as a countdown, but as a reminder that our time is precious, purposeful, and powerful. And as for the class of 2026, the clock is still ticking. And for the first time, we are not listening for what it might take away. We're listening for all that it still has to give. And we will not let it take quietly. Thank you.
Will you please stand for the benediction? Class of 2026, may you leave here and not conform to the pattern of this world, but set the pace for others to follow. May you be transformed and renewed each and every day. May you experience God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. May you love mercy, practice justice, and walk humbly with your God. And always remember that you are never alone. Amen. Please remain standing.
Good morning. My name is Mame Asante, and I am a proud new graduate of Milton Hershey School. My favorite line of the school pledge is, I pledge myself to honor and to do all I can for the good of my school, my country, and my God. I love this line because it serves as a reminder to serve others wholeheartedly with my God-given gifts and talents. It also reminds me to be a selfless person and to be open to the idea of bettering the world around me.
The turning of the tassel is a moment rich with meaning, a symbol of the growth and resilience that has led us to this day. With pride in our journey, gratitude for the Milton Hershey School, and excitement for what lies ahead, I am honored to lead our class in this tradition. Graduates, honoring your past and embracing your future, please move your tassel from the right side to the left. As graduates of Milton Hershey School, we also share a more sacred tradition, one that graduates of other schools do not. Moving our class rings so that emblems face the world rather than our hearts. Turning our rings outward symbolizes to the world that we are the living embodiments of Milton and Catherine Hershey's legacy. Graduates, with pride and gratitude for all that Milton Hershey School has given us, please turn your rings to face outward. Please join me in congratulating Milton Hershey School's class of 2026. I ask that all audience members please stand if you are able, which you already are, and join our newest graduates as they recite the school pledge for the first time as MHS alumni.
I will keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. I will keep my standards high and help others to do likewise. In my relations with others, I will live by the golden rule, and I'll speak the truth at all times. I pledge myself to honor and to do all I can for the good of my school, my country, and my God.
There is no better way to conclude this commencement ceremony than by returning to where this school year began. The last time our entire Milton Hershey School community gathered in this arena, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of our pledge, the 65 words written by George Copenhaver in 1926 that continue to guide generations of Spartans. As part of this celebration, President Gert challenged our community to do something special. He invited students, staff, alumni, retirees, and friends of the school to share what those 65 words mean to them. The goal was ambitious: capture 1,000 voices reflecting on the values that have shaped this home and school for a century. But as we've seen throughout this year, something powerful happens when the Milton Hershey School family comes together around a shared purpose. We didn't just reach the goal. We surpassed it not once, but twice. And we created something that will stand as a lasting tribute to the impact of our pledge and the people who live it every day. Throughout today's ceremony, you've watched the number grow. Now, it's time. Let's celebrate the voices, stories, and experiences that came together to make this challenge a success. Let's reveal the final count. Please continue standing for the alma mater.
the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit. Step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle. This is how legends are made. Like iron from the fire, getting stronger. This is how legends are made. Above it all, untouchable, a new animal. This is how legends are made. Sometimes